Well, howdy, that's better. How you guys all going? It's good to have you back for another week here on the Minimum Viable Pizza stream. Back with another live stream. We love doing this every Wednesday. Well, currently it's every Wednesday, 9:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, but we could be doing this anytime. So maybe we'll knock some more of these out in the future and do a bit more regularly so we can just keep building cool stuff. So if you haven't seen the title tonight, something we're going to do tonight is that we're actually going to try, well, not try, we are going to build a streak bar in Braze. It's something I've been meaning to do because a few weeks ago I was at a Braze bonfire event. So that's the event, one of the events they have, smaller events they kind of run in cities. I was speaking at that event with some people from Dabble and some people from Braze. And one thing we were talking about was gamification. And I don't know about you guys, I love gaming. You know, gaming, when I say gaming, I mean video gaming. You know, there's all sorts of games, there's sports betting, there's all sorts of things. But when I talk about gaming, I'm talking about video gaming because that's kind of one of my bags. Actually came off Call of Duty not too long ago, came off Warzone. But we're talking about gamification, and one of the things on there was I was talking about streak bars, because you've probably noticed like streak bars are actually, well, maybe you haven't noticed, streak bars are everywhere in life. So you often see them like in an app, like, you know, people like try and get people to have a streak because it encourages people to keep going. You know, you might do something and little bar goes up, and do something else, little bar goes up, because as humans we love visual cues. We love seeing where things are at visually, and sometimes there doesn't even need to be like any permanent end goal to that. Like in some cases on Twitch, if you're watching tonight on YouTube, over on Twitch, they have a thing called hype trains, and with hype train it's basically how many people can you get subscribed. You might set it as 20 and you want 20 people to subscribe on this hype train. You see the bar going up, you know, and there's actually no end goal to that for the user. Like, they don't get anything out of that, but to be part of that bar moving up and making that bar move up, we just want to be part of that. So this is where streak bars can be really good. And the converse from that, you can even have things like a health bar in a game where you see where you don't want to be. You don't want to see that bar go down. So don't almost think of streak bars just as something that has to go up and people are chasing something. Sometimes it's to encourage people to go, oh, geez, I don't want to go down there, you know, or this is where the total's at. And we want it to be more, you know, oh no, it's dropping. So there's lots of cool use cases for streak bars. We just like visual cues as humans. So that's something we're gonna have a look at. We're going to look at building streak bar. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. So even if you don't have a great knowledge of, you know, coding or anything, so you can't make sort of an animated streak bar happen inside, say, you know, JavaScript or something, doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how to build it. We're going to use Figma to draw it up. Maybe you could draw this in MS Paint. Honestly, I might even try and show you an example in MS Paint. And then we're going to use just a tiny little bit of liquid. And if you don't know liquid, that's okay. What we're going to do tonight, the liquid we're going to use is very simple. And if you don't know liquid, it's a type of liquid you will use over and over and over again. So this is a great way to learn it. We're going to show you how to build a streak bar with a little bit of liquid and just drawing it up yourself. And I'll just show you the easiest way to make a streak bar. So don't think you have to do anything animated. It's all good. Anyway, that's probably enough ramble about streak bars. But on that, like gamification, I mean, geez, gamification's everywhere right now. I feel like the word itself, does anybody else feel like the word's a bit burnt? Like everyone's like, oh, we're going to gamify that. We're going to gamify that. Like, honestly, what does that mean anymore? When people say they're going to gamify something, like it doesn't really mean anything. Like, but gamify essentially is really to encourage people with some sort of end goal or some sort of reward to get something. But like, is that really gamified? I mean, it adds a little bit of excitement, but I know for me, gamified is like there's some sort of adventure or journey, and sometimes it just needs to be about escapism. Like, it doesn't actually need to be like a reward. The reward is finishing whatever that is and achieving that. So no, maybe I've just talked myself into it. Maybe gamification and achievements is a good thing. Yeah, let's go with achievement. I just talk myself around. Do you guys do that? I have this sort of habit of like I'll be like, oh, I'll never do that. I'll be like, oh, I'll never do that. And then like you know, a little bit later, I'm sort of, oh, maybe it's not a bad idea. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. And like a week later, I'll be doing that exact thing because I've somehow talked myself back around into whatever it is that I said I wouldn't be doing in the first place. So, just gonna have a quick check over in Twitch. Yep, everything's going fine over there. We've got, people online as usual. Twitch says it's unstable. That's the favorite way to be over in Twitch. So, I imagine most of you are probably watching on YouTube tonight. YouTube is kind of where we do our mainstream from, and then I send that over to Twitch. But if you do have a Twitch account, by the way, if you could go over there and follow me over there, that'd be great, because we're trying to get the MVP stream up into affiliate status, and part of that is actually getting a certain number of followers. So if you can go over there and follow it on there, even if you don't watch it on there, if you could just go follow it on there, that would be awesome. But if you want to watch it, like, great. You know, Twitch is a great platform to watch live stream on. The big difference though is YouTube. After the stream's done, it actually goes up as a VOD, which is short for video on demand. If you don't know that, like, and you can rewatch it afterwards. You can play, you can rewind. You can play and rewind this stream you're watching right now. Like, if you've missed the start, you can go back to the start and watch it from there. Excuse me. And it'll just keep going, and you'll be able to watch essentially live, but you'll be delayed by however much you miss. So that's one of the great things about doing this on YouTube as well. So if you are watching tonight, please send me a message in the chat. I would love to hear from you guys, even if you just want to say hello. I still haven't fixed my first message responder, so you might end up getting 2 hellos back from me. If you do post in the chat, we're going to sort that out sometime. Been busy, you know, just been busy doing things. But yeah, so you can write a Twitch chat, you can write a YouTube chat. Just say hello if you're on the stream. And if you're watching this afterwards, hello to you. Please leave a comment down below if you're watching this video afterwards. I'd love to know that you were here. And also, if you are watching tonight, I don't like doing too many call-outs, CTAs, just smash that like button. The reason I want you to smash the like button is not just to smash the like button for the sake of it, but the more you press the like button, the more this stream actually gets sent out to other people while we're actually watching this. So there's a real benefit to this. It actually helps other people find this stream and learn about the cool things we're doing with Braze. So no article this week. We won't be going through an article this week unless someone like posts in the chat like, oh, I desperately wanted an article. We're actually just going to get into doing this streak bar. And if we have any time at the end, we'll get back to our text adventure. But this streak bar was just something that came up at the bonfire. I thought it'd be really cool to get onto that. So All right, so without further ado, as always, let's just get building, hey? I don't know about you guys, I love building. Where are we? All right, over in Braze. Now, we don't necessarily need to start in Braze. You can if you want, but the first thing we need to do is how we're going to do this essentially is we're going to draw a series of streak bars, and each of those streak bars is going to be a little bit further along. So it's the same image, just a bit further along. And what we're going to do is we're going to dynamically show which image we want to show with liquid. So as someone, you know, ups their points, so their loyalty points, the bar will go up. And so to them, it'll appear like it's moving, but really it's just replacing the image inside whatever you're using. It can be an email, in-app message, whatever. So that's essentially what we're doing tonight. Now, all right, so first things first, we need to draw some images. Now, I'm going to show you a really quick way to do this, and you can probably do this with another program, but I'm going to use Figma. A couple of reasons. One, you can get a free account. If you don't have one, just go to figma.com and you can just sign up and you just start a new design file and you can drop into something like this. I'm going to make the background transparent. It's a bit easy to work with. You can drop into something like this. But Figma is also just a universally kind of used tool right now across tech spaces. So if you're in MarTech, if you're in marketing, or you work anywhere near developers, you've either seen Figma, heard of Figma, or you should be using Figma. And I don't get any pay for saying that, but it's great because anything you draw on here, you can put it in developer mode and you can actually see the code, the CSS from that. And your developers can take that out, or you can even take that out and use it yourself if you want. So, all right, so we're in Figma. Great tool. So we want to draw a streak bar, and trust me, there's a reason I'm doing it in here, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's actually really clever. So if I hit R, I can draw a rectangle, and I'm gonna make my rectangle, we'll make it like, let's make it 600 wide because it's the width of a normal email. You can do it manually over here, or you can come over here to dimensions on the right, and you do 600, and there's our bar. I'll zoom in on that. So that's 600. You can see that there. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to round the corners just to make it a bit pretty. Up here, there is a... here, corner radius. If you just bang in something like 20, you'll get nice round ends pretty quick. So okay, we've got our 20 on here. Now, we want to put a border on that just so we can see the outside. If you come down here to stroke, stroke is essentially the edge, the border. It's saying it's going to be black. Let's make it something cool. We'll make it like... let's make it yellowy. So I click in here, and then if it's 100%, so if I want to be fatter, you can move this number up. So that's now on 4. So this is still 600. We haven't changed anything. So there we have. We already have a pretty nice looking streak bar with very little effort. We drew a rectangle. We rounded the corners. All right, now, so in the middle here, the white, this is the fill, which is this button over here on the right. There's a fill button, and currently it's this color, which is just sort of off white. Now you can go into here, and if you move this around, you'll see the fill changes. So it's going to change the color, but we want a bar that looks like it's half full, sometimes full. If you come to this button here, it's called gradient. And a gradient is basically where you're fading one color into another color. So you can see here, there's 2 colors, and here it's going white to gray. If I click on this gray color and makes it red, that'll be a bit more obvious. Right, and so here's our gradient going from white to red. So already starting to look like we've got a bit of a bar that's doing something. Now, just to make this really clear cut, what you can do is you can grab this color here, you can pull it all the way down that way, and it will be all red. Or you can pull this one all the way to the right, and now it's all white. And you might already be starting to see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to pull these down to certain points. You can actually swap them over, so like that. And if you put them on top of each other, oh, look, now we have a bar that's a little bit full. And then if we move this one up and move this one up, now we have a bar that's a bit more full. Look at that. That was very easy. And you're like, oh, that's cool, David. Now, what do I do with that? Well, let me show you. So we'll do these one at a time. You could actually make 5 duplicates of this and just do them all if you wanted. But so we've got our 1 bar here. We're going to go down here on the right to export. We want it 1 times. We just want it the same size it is because we've currently got it 600, but you can do 2 times, you can do half times, whatever you're sort of doing with. We'll just do a PNG. We're going to hit export. It's going to come up. It's going to say, where do you want that? I'll just chuck it in my downloads folder for now. And we're going to call that, we'll call that streak 0 because that bar is 0. All right, now we come in here, we go to our fill here? It says linear now because it's saying it's a linear gradient. It's a gradient that runs across. So click on linear. We're going to get, we want to move this white one across, and then we want to move the red one on there. Now, let's say we want that to be, you know, 0, 20, 40, 60, 80. All you do is come down here to the stops, change this to 20%, change this to 20%. Oh, I've gone back to front. We could probably swap them over, can we? Yep. My bad. All right, there you go. 20 and 20. Just grab one of them and move it. So now we know that's 20. So if we had a bar that was going up to 100, we can say that's 20. We get this. We export rectangle. We do streak 0. And we're going to call this streak 20. Now I'm just going to speed through the rest of them. I'm going to do 40, 60, 80, 100 basically. So I'm going to do, come in here and do 40. Come in here and do 40. Just pull this one. Oh, that one didn't go to 40. So I'll fix that up. 40 and 40. We're going to export rectangle. Now you can see you could probably do this in Paint, for instance, but in Paint you would have to like manually draw each of these colors. What's good about this gradient is you can actually move it to where the next one is, basically, and that's actually we can move one to 60 and then we can just drag the other one there. There we go. That's the easiest way to do that. And then we want streak 60. We're going to go back into our gradient. We're going to move this up to 80. Slide this out. It'll lock on there. Then we can do 80. It's just, you know, I probably should have done like 0 to 100 as single numbers, and then you guys could have had just an entire stream of watching me drag sliders around, and that would be pretty cool. And what we might do, maybe we'll do a 99 for people who are like right on the end. I wonder how that would show up. I want to go this way, bro. I should have done the white as 99. Can we actually tell that that's not? Oh, yep. So see, we've left that tiny little weeny bit at the end there just to make people feel like they want to get over the line. Gonna do streak 99. Actually, that'll be a good learning later on. And then we want these to be 100. And what this one? No, we're permanently stuck on 99. And we want 100. There we go. And 100 and 100. All right. So therefore, now we have all our streak bars. So you might have been able to tell from that. Essentially, what's going to happen is this is gonna work for me. We'll swap these bad boys over. Essentially, what's going to happen for that is we're gonna have this, and we're going to be like, if you have 20, you're 20. If you have 40, you're 40. If you have 60, you're 60. You have 80, you're 80. If you have 100, and it's going to show the image. And you can see here that I've actually left the gradient on this time. You can push these two a bit closer together. You can make some sort of interesting patterns by actually create another color. Make some sort of interesting patterns by actually moving these stops around. So you can have a bit of gradient on the top if you want. You can actually do that. And if you really want to get fancy in here, if you click in between these dots in the gradient, you double click, so you can actually add more colors. So essentially you could add a rainbow gradient in here if you wanted. You could mess with this all day. So you could build this bar however you wanted, basically. You could do lots of different things. So anyway, we've got our images, which is cool. All right. And we're going to go over now. Yeah. All right, next stop, Braze. It's the bit you've all been waiting for. Now, I'm going to use canvas because I just enjoy using canvas. Oh, I guess we could do it in campaign. I don't know, you guys. I don't use really campaigns for anything anymore. All right, so we want to do a canvas. We want to start a new canvas. We're going to call this streak. Maybe we'll do. We can do this change in custom attribute value because we're going to update. It's basically they're going to enter this when a certain custom attribute changes. Oh, I need to create the attribute. Come down here to data. We go to attributes. I'll open that a new link. So we actually need to create an attribute to update for this. So because basically every time that attribute updates with a different number, then we're going to come in here and it's going to change the image. All right, so enemy health stat. Got some winners going on in here. Streak let's call this streak value, and it's going to be a number. You could do, I guess you could do this as true false. I don't know how many streak bars would use that, but you could use anything you wanted in here to modify that bar, because it's just whatever's showing will change the bar. I'm going to use a number. I'm going to save that. So now we have streak value in here, so that's good. So if we go back to our canvas, streak value is now in this list of custom attributes. So if streak value changes to any new value, doesn't matter what it is, it's going to trigger this canvas, which is good because that's what we're going to use anyway. Target audience, that should be me. Just got to open up my I am MVP test, I believe. MVP test. I was just looking for the user for that. So I'm gonna trigger this just from external ID. I just like to put something in here so that, you know, we don't have you don't just capture anyone every time when you're testing things. It's always good to put some sort of user in here and kind of lock this down just so you don't accidentally send to lots of people. All right, let's get in the cool bit. Let's build this canvas. And you'll be surprised how easy this actually is once we get cracking. So what we want a message. I'm going to message. The question is, what sort of message do we want? Let's use an in-out message today. Like I've been using, what do we call that? Email. Hashtag I'm a marketer. So I've been using email quite a bit. I don't think there'll be. No, I don't think I'm going to worry about a template. I'm just going to get into this just so I can show what we're doing here. All right, so I've come into the drag and drop editor. We're going to grab ourselves. They're all on this side now, aren't they? We'll chuck a row in here. I think there is a row there. It doesn't matter. We're going to get an image. All right, leave that. Ooh, my bad. I don't need an image. What I need is HTML. All right, so the easiest way to do this is probably if I stick HTML in here. So I'm going to get custom code and put it in here, but don't panic. It's okay. And then we want to go up here and here. And I'm going to grab some personalization, which I think is here. And I haven't been in the in-app drag and drop editor for a while, you probably tell. And we're going to get a custom attribute. And we're going to search for streak value. That's the one we want. Now, if there's no value in streak value already, it's just going to be non-existent, but we can still use it when we type in code. All right, no default value. We want to copy that, and you'll see why I want to copy that in a minute. So we're going to come in here and we're going to type some liquid. I've just realized I haven't even uploaded my images yet. All right. One sec. Go over here, go to templates, go to media library. All right, just gonna come out here for a sec because I'm just not sure what's gonna pop up in this window when I go into my folder. So just don't want any trouble C's in there. We're gonna go back here. All right, so I'm gonna grab all my image files. I've grabbed all of them at once. I'm gonna drag and drop them into there so that we have them. And you'll see they're just gonna all upload in here, all the different streaks. So I've got our 40, 20. And basically once they upload, all of them now get allocated a Braze asset URL, and it's that asset URL that's going to be really important for us. So we come in here and we're going to type if. So you do open curly braces, percentage sign, close curly braces. This is saying we want the liquid to do some sort of logic. We'll come in here like that. Do some sort of logic. So this isn't going to display on the screen. It's just some logic. So say if. And we do custom attribute streak value. That's the personalization one that we copied just a minute ago. If that equals 0, right? Bro, got me. If that equals, oh, all right. Take two. So we're gonna do curly braces, percentage sign, because you always got to always open and close with the same thing. If our custom attribute value equals, we want two equals, which is saying we want to compare it against it, equals 0, like that. Then what do we want it to do? We want it to show I'm going to type image. So see, this is how you get images to show with HTML. You can just do this much. It's totally fine for now. So we're going to do that. We're going to go over to our media library. We're going to find streak 0, which is this one. I'm going to copy the asset URL. We come back over here and I'm going to put that in there. Actually, I might make that our else. So at the end of all these, you can have an else. And what an else is it says if do this, else if do this. If none of that works, do this. So I'm going to make the fallback my 0. So if nothing else works, it will always fall back to show a bar, but the bar will be 0. And always got to close off with an end if. I've probably made this liquid more confusing than it is, but basically what we've done, we've opened with an if statement, which means we need to close the whole thing with an end if statement. That always goes at the end. I put in an else statement, which is like a fallback. If none of the other code works, this is what it's going to do. And so in here, if streak value equals 20. So the first one we're going to show is 20. We go into streak 20 and we copy that URL and we're going to put img for image and src for the, let's call it source. We want it to show this. Else show this. And just to show you what's actually showing at the moment. So you'll see that they all appear here. I'll move that down now. You'll see that they all appear here, but it's going to determine what it should be based on what's in that custom attribute value. Now that custom attribute value is currently 0. Actually, I'll open up that user so we can actually see that attribute in there, which was MVP test. So they actually don't have that custom attribute value in here yet. So once something comes in there, you'll see it in there, but for now it's just considered 0. So I go over here, and then if I preview this, I'm expecting this to show me the 0 bar because that was our else, that was our fallback. I got wrecked. Let's try this again. All right, I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna put style equals width 100%. Yep. That. It wasn't showing properly inside the thing, so I don't think the message was 600. So let me try this again. Okay, so what I did, I went in there, I put style width 100%, which means make it fit inside this box. Why it's showing me 20? I think I must have pasted the wrong images in the wrong spot, have I? If streak value equals 20, what is this image here? So what you can do is you can get the image, you can paste it anywhere you want. Just, yeah, so it's 0. So must be something wrong. Have I written my streak value wrong? If streak value, should that be in this one? I think it should be in this one. 2 brackets to open, 2 brackets to close, then it's this one. Apply changes, preview. I'm not sure if anyone's in the chat, but if it's this, do this. If custom attribute streak value equals 20, sure it doesn't go here. Okay. I've got an extra bracket there somewhere. Is that right? 2, 2, 1, 2. No, that goes there. If custom attribute streak value, those two equals 20. There's an extra bracket here. All right. It's outside. I was using the wrong code. Anyway, there we go. So what we've got here, we've got if custom attribute streak value. So it's looking at whatever's in this custom attribute, which at the moment will be 0, equals 20. Then print the image that looks like 20. Else if it's not that, print 0. And so if we apply those changes, preview and test, we get 0. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to send 20 over to my account. So it's streak value. I'm just using my little API tool over here. Canvas ID must be a string of canvas set identifier. What? Just trying to figure out why my little API tool is not working now. Streak value, external ID. Yep, Jason. Can't. Oh, yep. I've got the wrong. So basically, if you're ever doing anything with APIs, make sure you have the right link up the top. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you. All right, so got my little API tool. I just don't put it on screen just in case I accidentally show any API keys or anything, which I really don't want to do because I don't need anyone having those. All right, so I've sent that over. If I refresh this now, you can see I've sent over streak value of 20. So this user is now 20. So if I come back in here and do preview and test, it's going to be 0 because that user doesn't have anything. But I can test this as an existing user. And I can do MVP test. And because it's 20, the bar shows us 20. Look at that. Just put that right in the center for you so you can see that really well. See? And so basically, if I go back to my little tool now, and I'm going to send a different value over there, and I'm going to send over 40, for example. Just send that over. Come back here. We'll wait a moment. So if we go over to that user, you can see when I refresh this, now it's 40. So when we come back over here, if I refresh this user, because there is no 40 value, it'll go to the else, which is 0, meaning that it shouldn't do anything. There we go. Back to 0 because the value is 40 and we don't have any bar for 40. And you're probably like, oh, hold on a second. Why don't we just add some code to make that bar 40? Well, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit easier. So what you can do here, you can put curly braces percentage sign, curly braces percentage sign, and we do else if. Else if. And what else if is try the if, go up here, try the if statement. If custom value equals 20, do this. Else if it equals this, do this. Else if it equals this, and you can go on for as long as you want. And if none of that's right, do else and fall back to something else. So our else if, we can just copy this line up here, make this nice and easy. Actually, we'll just take this out and we'll just change this to, so it's ELSIF, so it's else if. Else if custom at streak value equals, now, so what we've been doing here, we've been working with whole numbers, but essentially you're probably normally going to be working with a range if you are working with these sorts of bars. So we have one down here, it falls back if it's 0. Then basically we want anything that's greater than 0 and less than, anything that's greater than 0 and less than 21, is that right? We'll show, no, anything that's 20 or above will show 20. So if it equals, or if it's greater than or equals 20, and, so we want and we do and in lowercase because we want to give this two things to compare, and it is less than or equal to 39, we're going to show the 20 bar. So what we're doing now is we're saying if it's below 20, do the else, show 0. If it's above 20 or equal to 20, show the 20 bar. Anything up to 39, keep showing the 20 bar, because once we hit 40, I'm just going to copy this one over, it's going to be a lot easier. Once we hit 40, do else if the custom attribute is greater than or equal to 40 or less than or equal than 59, we want to show, we'll go back and get our media library. I open everything in new tabs, you probably noticed. It's just a bit easier to kind of zoom around the thing. we want to get our 40 bars. So we go to here, we look for 40, we go across, we copy the asset URL for that. We go back into our code and we're going to put in here the 40. Oh, we're going to put in here image. I'm just going to type this each time just for a little bit, just so you can see. So it's IMG for image, SRC. This is how you type HTML to put an image in. It'll bring up quotation marks. That's where you put in the image that you want to show. We're going to go before that. We're going to type style because we want to style it. This is what they call inline CSS. This is actually styling your writing inline of the image. We're going to do width, and you do a colon because these are key value pairs. Width, 100%, and 100% means it doesn't matter how big or small your in-app message is, it will just stretch to that. And you've always got to close CSS with a semicolon on the end. So, and we better close off our image. You always close them off. You don't necessarily need this self-closing tag at the end, but it's good to always be putting them in. I've missed one up here. It's just the right way to be typing this. All right, so what we've got, let's go through this. We've got if the custom attribute is greater than 20, is equal to 20, or greater than, just move that across so you can see the whole thing, or less than or equal to 39, we want to show the 20. Else if it's greater than or equal to 40, or less than or equal to 59, I'm sure why this one's red, that's okay. We want to show the 40 bar. Else, if none of that is true, because everything is kind of, is this true, is this false, is this true? None of that is true, we're going to show 0. So if I apply that now, we go to the preview. There we go. So this bar, I'll show you a quick way to test this too. The bar is 0, so we can do custom user. So if you come over here and do custom user, what you can do then is you can go down all the way to the bottom, and you'll see any custom attributes that you're actually using in your campaign. So I've been updating them in the actual profile, but if I put 0 in here and hit enter, that bar should now show up because there's a value. If I go in here and put 20, we should see the 20 bar. Give it a minute to update. Oh, don't make a fool out of me. There's obviously something wrong with my and logic back there. If I put 19, what am I going to get? Probably 0 because it should be. And 39, what am I going to get? Well, we just broke it. So, we're going to go back to the build. And we're going to have another look at what's going on here. So, enlarge the code. If custom attribute is great, yeah, it's greater than or equal to 20 and less than or equal to 39, show this. Else if it's greater than or equal to 40 and less than 59, show this. I think I'm just having brain fades tonight. It's probably just like one little what normally happens is there's one little thing you're just missing and the whole thing. Yep. So the image is right. So that was my first debug. I was checking, have I got the right image link in there? So we know it's going to show the right thing. And then we're going to go in here. We're going to go, all right. We're going to go backwards. I'm just going to debug this a little bit. So I feel like I'm putting, they're called operators. When you're using like equals and plus, they're actually called operators. But I'm going to take them out. I'm just going to put equals 40 equals 20 and apply those changes. Then we're going to preview and test that. And come down here. So it's going to be 0. And if I put in 20, we should see that. Great. I'm going to put in 40. Oh, the bar's creeping. So at least our bar's working. You probably see already how this is working. So it looks like the bar's actively moving, because if I put that in 0 now, great. And if I put literally any other number in here that isn't 20 or 40, because they're the only ones we're looking for, like if I put 36, for instance, and then come over here, it's always going to show 0 because that's our else. That's our fallback. So we know that's working. So this is good. We're getting a little bit of a session in debugging at the same time. And David realizing he's forgotten how to type operators into Braze. So that's great. So if it's less than or equal to 20 and pretty sure it's all lowercase and greater than or equal to 20, yeah, or less than equal to 39, then show that one. Now I'm actually just going to test that. Going to test that straight away just to make sure that's working. So if we go over here, and if I put in 40, the 40 one should still show because I haven't changed the logic for that. I've put in 39 now. So if I put in 20, I'm typing something wrong with my operators, aren't I? All right, cool. So really good place to go. Shopify Liquid cheat sheet. And go in here, look for Liquid cheat sheet. In case you haven't seen this, is great. So Shopify created Liquid, and not all Liquid necessarily works in Braze, but this is actually a really good place to find, you know, some things that may or may not be working in regards to that for whatever you're doing. All right, so go in here. We can put. Oh, this doesn't have operators. All right, GitHub Liquid. Sorry, this one doesn't have operators. We go GitHub Liquid. Find Liquid templating language, Shopify open source. This is a great resource. Down the side here, we will find operators somewhere. Operators and operators, see? So this is equals, does not equal, greater than or equal to. I must just be putting it in the wrong spot because I've written it the right way around. So that's good to know. If product title equals or, yeah. So I've used lowercase, so that bit's okay. Equals, yep, great. Do they show us and? Oh, and. So and is lowercase, I've done that right. What am I missing? Do you know what's really funny? I actually tested this the other day to make sure this worked before I went to that talk. Control flow tags, equals. Over to Shopify Liquid Docs. Then you go to the Liquid reference. Now this is the official reference source. This is actually really cool, by the way. It's got these cute pixel animations about potions and whatnot. Iteration, conditionals, filters. Maths, no. If else. Yep, so this is if else, it's all in there. HTML, iteration, no. Well. Alright. Yeah, what we're gonna do? We're just gonna figure this out. Because we can do that. Alright, so edit the code area. We'll go back in here. Of all the times to not remember how to do this. I'm actually really sure these are actually meant to be inside these brackets, but oh, Braze Liquid examples. Pretty sure there's a great page in here. Liquid case overviews. See? Using Liquid operators. Why don't I go to the Braze docs the first? Yep, greater than or equal to. Yep, less than or equal to. Yep, we've got that right. And condition A and condition B. Yep, cool. Total spend. No, they put the operators on the outside, so that's good. Proxy word trust. Yep. Blank and or. We want less than or equal to because I'm sure I'm using them right and they're just not working. In saying that, though, half of working with things like Liquid or any sort of code is just debugging. Nope, there was nothing there. Use case library. Another good resource if you haven't found it. And you can go up the top here. You can go app usage, language, countdowns. is adding maths on. Equal to, a lot of equal to in here. We want less than or equal to, don't we? I just want to know that I have it in the right spot. They got less than. There's a less than. Yeah, it's on the outside. Calculate X days, X days. Interesting. I mean, the good thing is you actually get a bit of lesson in how I debug things and just go through documents. Oh, less than equal C. There we go. Just in case you can't see that. If difference days is greater than 4 and difference days is less than or equal to 7. Can you not use... No, you can definitely... Oh, maybe you can't use less than and equal than and greater than and equal than in the same operator statement. Like, I can't have two of these going on, and that's I can't have two of these going on at the same time. That's what is read. So I can do, if it's equal to 20 and less than 39, which I guess essentially says if it's greater than, oh, that should be 2 equals there, by the way. If it's greater than, if it equals, no, if it's greater than, it's greater than 19. No, I'm sure this works. If it's greater than or equal to 20 or less than or equal to 39 and I just need a moment because I have no idea why I can't figure this out, because for me this is, I'm sure I've used this before. No, the images are working. Got our if else statements, and they are working because we've tested them with solid numbers. We just can't get them to work with the less than and equal than. You know what we're going to do? We're going to pull one operator out from these statements just to test that. If it is equal to 20, no, that won't work. If it's greater than 19 and less than 39, we'll put that in there just to see if it's to do with the number of operators. I really don't think it is, but now if we come back down here, I'll just zoom that out so you can just see it as a whole. So if we do 40, we should get our 40 bar because that's just equals. Yep, great. If I do 39, we're back to 0 again. So it's actually not the number that's in there, which is good because I genuinely think we can have them. If streak value is greater than or equal to, and no, and's correct. We want it to be greater than or equal to 20 and less than, you know what? If it's greater than or equal to 20 and less than 40. Yeah. Let's try that, shall we? I don't know. I don't know why that should be working. Let's see how we go, heck. So if I do 20. Nope. If custom attribute equal, can it not do? I'm wondering now if it can't actually do that much. Let's call it maths in a single. So I came in at the start and I was like, oh, this is going to be really easy for everyone. If you don't know anything about Liquid, you'll be fine. All right, so here's a new one for you. So we're going to do assign. And what this does is assigns whatever you're putting in there into a variable. And a variable is basically storing the value inside another word or another thing. So we're going to take the value of what's inside streak value, custom attribute, and we're going to store it inside a value. Let's call this, just call this streak. So you can call that whatever you want. And what do you want to call that? And what does that equal? It equals whatever's stored inside this custom attribute, like that. And now that it's stored in streak, I mean, this is actually a clean way to write things anyway. Wherever you've got custom attribute, you can now just write the word streak. I mean, this is a great lesson itself because it's going to clean the whole thing up. So assign the word streak to whatever the value is of that custom attribute at the moment. If streak is 20, blah, 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 less than 40, less than equal, yeah, and less than 40, yep. Else if streak, yep, great. So it should work exactly the same now. I'm just wondering whether it can't do. Sometimes in Liquid you have to store whatever the value is inside a variable to be able to do any sort of complex maths on it. You can say, does it equal this? But in order to take it and then plus something to it, you often need to store it inside a variable. You can't like say, take the custom attribute and plus something to it. You actually have to it's almost like you're pulling that number out so you can use it in a maths equation. I'm actually wondering whether that's the reason this isn't working. So if I do 40, just to make sure the logic's still not broken. Yep, so that's still okay. If I do 20, actually this shouldn't make any difference because I'm just testing. I'm not actually using the real attribute. I'm just testing this. Either way, this has made this look cleaner. So that's good. Clean is good. For anyone just joining us, be sure to hit that like button so we can spread this message out a bit wider across all the networks. Or yeah, and if you do have a Twitch account, go and follow us on Twitch. We're shooting for affiliate over there. So I just have a bit of trouble at the moment working out why our streak number system is not working. So we have assigned streak to whatever the value is in this custom attribute. Check. If that value is greater than or equal to 20 and less than 40, so 20 to 39, show this image. Is there anything wrong with that image code? Does it look okay? It's quite often like just a full stop or a comma that will ruin all your stuff. But normally this will tell you if there's some sort of liquid syntax error. You will get some warning. All right. Else if the value of streak equals 40, show this image. And that image looks okay. And that one is working. So there's clearly something wrong with this logic. Else, if none of that's true, show the empty one. And that's also working. So that's a plus. And then we always have end if. So if we start an if, we end with an if. I'll just and same as if you start a for loop, you do an end for as well. So another little lesson there as well. Interesting. I'm wondering if I stored my other one. Is this... all right. So I'm just gonna change my folder over here. I'm just gonna open my. I have a whole bunch of code, liquid code that I save inside VS Code. VS Code, good one. Email code. I'm just going to actually open that up. It's because I reckon I saved the original version of this that I was working on inside that. So I'm going to open up my VS Code instance that has all that in there. It was opening up my portfolio then, so you don't necessarily need to see the code for that. So, all right. And I have a bunch of liquid. I just have so much random liquid. Now, just to audio, you were like, what the heck, bro? Like, I just have a whole bunch of liquid stored in here. And what this is like, sometimes I'm just thinking and I come up with an idea and I'm like, oh, I'll just shove it in here, play with it. And then, I don't know, I just never delete it because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go back to that one day. And sometimes this, did I put that in here? If item size is greater than, so I've used less than, here we go. If it's less than, if it's greater than or equal to, so if it's less than, yeah, if it's greater, no, greater than or equal to, less than, I just haven't done 2 in 1. And I really thought I'd done that somewhere. All right, I'm going to try my other folder. I have another folder. Because you can't have too many folders full of just random liquid, can you? Like, that'd be ridiculous. So, all right, and we go. Come on, little terminal. Do you know, I set out tonight, I'm just going to jump in here. I'm going to show everyone how to build this. It's going to be really easy, going to be really quick. And instead, live, I think it's called live streaming. Live streaming code, CD live streaming code. Code plus. All right, cool. Just fire this up for you guys. You'll be able to see this. Just take a little while because my computer's running pretty hard at the moment. Oh, I'm not sure if my image has got a bit wonky on your end because I'm trying to run VS Code at the same time, but nah, not there. I think I actually just crashed Spotify. Oh dear. I'm kind of hoping, I don't know if anyone's watching this right now, but I'm kind of hoping you can still hear me because it says it's broadcasting, but my Spotify's crashed, which is, it's not giving me any sound, which is a bit of concern. So give me 1 minute, just see if I can rectify that on the fly. Okay. Well, I think that might be it for today. We're halfway through something. The sound's gone. I guess it's all part of streaming. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come back next week and we're gonna try this again. I don't know if anyone's seen this veterinary, not veterinary. I was just reading what's in the chat there. I'm just gonna clear that out so you don't have to worry about that ding donger. I don't know. All right. Well, we tried. Somehow we managed to fail, which was quite a surprise. I don't know if you guys can still hear me, so I'm just hoping that you can if you're still watching this. But I will be back here next week. In the meantime, I'm going to try and get this to work. I might even put this out as a video just to help you guys out. Anyone who's been watching this should be able to watch the video and see the end of this. And appreciate anyone that's hung around and watched this chaos. Because, I mean, this has been really good. I mean, it's been a good learning lesson to understand how debugging works and kind of the process that I start going through to do these sorts of things. So, didn't quite get back onto the... well, is there a warning? Oh, no, it just keeps saying accessibility scans out of whack. Yeah, so I'm going to keep working on this over the week and see if I can figure out how to make this work. Because it should have just worked the first time. And anyone watching this back, if you have anything, pop it in the comments, because I don't know what I've done wrong or whether I've just jumped on the live stream and I've just had a complete brain fade, because this is some of this is normally my bread and butter, and that's all right. We all have bad days. Doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, till next week. Anyone who's chimed in, dropped in, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you all next week. You can always find me on LinkedIn. David O'Reilly, if you're looking for me. Always happy to answer questions about Braze. And you can always find me here on YouTube as well. So hit me up anytime. Make sure to follow the Twitch page, Shooting for Affiliate. We're all after that as well. And this recording will go towards that, which is good because I have to keep my stream numbers up. And I will catch you all next week, hopefully with some great answers about how Liquid works. I'm going to go back to basics, do a bit of a basics recording for myself. So peace out, everybody. I will see you next week. What? Done. It actually goes up as a VOD, which is short for video on demand. If you don't know that, and you can rewatch it afterwards. You can play, you can rewind, you can play and rewind right now. Like if you've missed the start, you can go back to the start and watch it from there. Excuse me, and it'll just keep going. By however much you miss. So that's one of the great things about doing this on YouTube as well. So if you are watching tonight, please send me a message in the chat. I would love to hear from you guys, even if you just want to say hello. I still haven't fixed my first message responder, so you might end up getting 2 hellos back from me if you do post in the chat. We're gonna, yeah. So I'm going to keep working on this over the week and see if I can figure out how to make this work, because it should have just worked the first time. And anyone watching this back, if you have anything, pop it in the comments.